Hi, I'm Annalise Almanacing.
And I'm Erica Bear.
We are going to take a close view on the rising socio-medical issue of bullying on Long Island.
Bullying is an unwanted and aggressive behavior that is usually repeated, involving an existent or perceived power difference.
There are three main types of bullying: cyber, verbal, and physical.
Verbal bullying is passing aggression aloud through talking or yelling.
Cyberbullying is verbal and or social aggression carried out through technology.
Physical bullying involves hurting a person's body or possessions.
People who are seen as weaker socially are at the greatest risk to be bullied. For example, people with low self-esteem or who are less popular.
People are bullied because bullies tend to have low self-esteem, be easily pressured, and like being in charge of others.
To get a better view of this issue, we are going to interview people who have handled bullying directly. I'm here interviewing the victim's sister. Why do you think your sister became the victim?
We think because she's jealous of us. Because we have like a normal home life and she doesn't.
Has the bully ever attacked you verbally, physically, cyber?
When I was in 9th grade at the St. Mary's Carnival, she would yell things. She was yelling things at me, and then this year in the locker room, her and her friend cornered me in the locker room, and it was just me there before kick line, and they're yelling at me, and if Miss Suskin would break it up, we probably would have gotten beaten up.
Do you feel the school could have handled the issue better? And
I don't know what her punishment was, but I don't really think she was in trouble that much. I think she should have been, because it's been an ongoing problem since I was in 9th grade, so it's 2 years longer.
How has your family been affected?
Everyone gets upset and frustrated over it.
It's a lot of stress.
Yeah, every time something happens, everybody gets upset.
What is your advice for someone going through the same thing?
To definitely talk to somebody about it, especially in school, and never hide anything, because then it just gets worse.
Do you feel this bully has negatively affected your schoolwork?
No.
No. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm here interviewing the victim's mother. How did you feel when you first heard your daughter was being bullied?
Sad, upset, a little helpless. You want to protect them and keep them in their childhood mode and, keep them safe, and I kind of feel that was taken away.
Has the school helped you with dealing with this problem or made you feel more comfortable?
To some extent. Not
100%.
Not fully, right.
Do you feel the school could have handled this any better?
They're in a tough spot.
Yes.
Because they legally cannot tell me what they're doing to the other child. They can only discuss my child.
Yes.
There's always three sides to every story. Of course, I have feelings for my own children, so I would have liked to see things done a little differently. More discipline or things to that extent. So I think they could have done things a little bit differently, but did the best they could.
How has this affected your family?
Some extent brought us closer. But also back to sad that it's actually happening, that it's
had to deal with
right, that we have to deal with it, and that it's a reality that this is your life now, that you have certain days of fear when they go to school, or when you get the text message is everything okay, and nerve-wracking.
Do you have any other advice for any other parents?
Just be present and help them and be supportive.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm here talking with the victim. How long have you been bullied?
Since about 7th grade, on and off.
Did it ever stop? Is it still going?
Yeah.
Why do you think she started acting this way?
We were best friends for years, and then I guess she was jealous, and she obviously has some problems.
What has the bully done to attack you?
She's over text, face to face. She's threatened to punch me in the face, stuff like that.
Who did you go to first when she started this?
My sister.
Your sister? How long did it take for you to tell someone about it?
5 minutes.
That's good. How do you cope with the harm you face from the bully? Or how did you?
Well, there was a couple months, I mean, I didn't really cope with it well, but I'm better now, like, so it's,
Do you feel the school helped you at all?
I think, I'm not really sure what her punishment was, but it definitely should have been more.
Just
I mean,
because
it keeps
the fact
going
that
on.
she keeps doing it, you feel
It
like
should be
she
addressed.
hasn't been, yeah.
More punishment.
Do you have any advice for someone going through the same thing?
I mean, just to always seek help and just stay away from people who are kind of crazy.
Thank you.
Kids who are bullied can experience negative physical, school, and mental health issues.
Children who are bullied are more likely to experience health complications and a decrease in academics and participation in school.
The victims are more likely to miss, skip, or even drop out of school. They may develop depression and anxiety, changes in sleep and eating patterns, and loss of interest in activities they once enjoyed. There are many short-term effects of bullying. Some include becoming depressed and withdrawn, having nightmares, loss of self-esteem, stomach aches, headaches, fear of being confronted by the bully. Schoolwork may become affected and grades may suffer. They may become stressed and anxious or even embarrassed.
Long-term effects of bullying include chronic depression and suicidal tendencies, post-trauma psychological disorders, alcohol or substance abuse, and destructive behavior.
I'm here with Mr. Brennan, the principal at East Islip High School. What do you think makes someone a bully?
You know, kids who are usually the aggressors in a bullying situation come from a broken home or from a family where there's not a lot of supervision at home, whether that's both parents working and you know, not having mom and dad both around is usually a contributing factor. I've also had situations where kids who come from very good homes, you know, are bullies. It's really a matter of supervision, talking to your kids, being involved with your kids.
How do you go about dealing with the bullying issues?
It's really become a big cyber issue now. We need to deal with every situation uniquely based on what type of bullying was taking place, who was involved, the circumstances surrounding the bully. You know, careful with the victim and make sure that you're protecting the victim. But what we find really here at the high school is it's not that clear-cut bullying.
Do you think social media has escalated the bullying?
Absolutely. It's so easy now for kids to be very brave behind a keyboard and just shooting off you know, hurtful things to somebody else. Created a world of new problems for us in schools.
What's the school's policy on bullying?
Well, we have a zero tolerance, so you know, we identify a student who's bullying, you know, we deal with them. You know, there's always a disciplinary consequence. You try to add though a counseling component into that as well, because you want to, you know, teach the bully not to do it anymore. There's also Dignity for All Students Act. So when we do suspect bullying, there's a whole protocol that we need to follow. Everyone involved needs to be interviewed while they do a whole investigation.
How do you make them feel safe, like coming back to school, knowing that will happen again?
To make the victim feel comfortable, it's really more through our counseling, again, with the counselors and through either the social worker, the psychologist, or the APs. You know, if ever you're having a problem, just go find an adult in the building, and they will protect you and get you to where you need to be to get help.
Thank you.
We are here with Ms. Pignataro, the guidance counselor and head of DASA. What are you in charge of regarding bullying as a guidance counselor?
Well, as a guidance counselor, we always want to be available for any student who's having a concern or a problem, so that's part of my job as a counselor in general. But when it comes to DASA, the Dignity for All Students Act, my job is to be the Dignity Act coordinator for the building.
What is available for students who seek help when being bullied?
Well, there are a couple different avenues students can take. Of course, we always want them to feel that they can talk to one of us as guidance counselors. We also have a social worker and a psychologist here in the office. Our administrators and teachers are available, so we always want kids to know that they have multiple people they can go to if they feel like they're in trouble or need our help.
What is DASA?
DASA stands for the Dignity for All Students Act. It's a law that went into effect almost 2 years ago in New York State And it's a law that says that every public high school has to have a person like me who's trained to specifically handle reports of bullying and harassment. And it also gives us some guidelines to help make our schools more positive, safe places for kids.
According to our studies, 54% of students think bullying is a large issue at East Islip High School.
71% of students believe cyberbullying is the most common type of bullying. This shows that the students at East Islip High School aren't educated about bullying.
Most common type of bullying is verbal bullying.
According to the Stop Bullying Foundation, 77% of students are bullied.
After performing a t-test based on our collected data and national claim by Stop Bullying Foundation, there is evidence to suggest that 35.5% of students in East Islip High School are being bullied or have been recently bullied.
One creative solution to stop bullying in high school is to have more restrictions on social media and what's said.
One idea to stop bullying in high school is to encourage students to talk to their guidance counselors.
After interviews, studies, and research, we discovered most students are uneducated about bullying. Being more informed about this issue can help prevent bullying.
Victims should know where they can go if they need help, as well as the bully. If a bully solves their personal conflicts, they will not feel the need to bully others. This will allow victims to get the help that they need.
An assembly, guest speaker, club, or even a flyer can encourage a student to help get the need.
If a student knows what is available to them, it can help stop bullying before it starts escalating.
This rising socio-medical issue can be prevented by acknowledging bullying exists
And by educating students on what can help them in these situations.